Hey everyone, welcome back to another Jazz Drum Q-Tip of the week. My name is Quincy Davis, and I have one question for you. Did you miss me? Did you guys miss me? I've been gone. I've been out. I've been traveling. I've been out and about working, keeping really busy, and I had to take some time off from the channel, but I am back, and I'm better than ever, I promise. And actually, I need you to keep calm because I'm a drummer. You want one of these? I bet you do. These are so fun to wear because you get so many reactions of people looking, and some people talk to you, and they're pretty funny. So if you want to pick one up, they're down below. But I am back, and I had a great time. I've been all over the world, Japan, Switzerland, Germany, Austria. Where else have I been? Thailand. I've been all over the States. I've been meeting many of you guys. Pete, big shout out to Pete Harris and Eric Puente and Hong in Thailand and a bunch of other young drummers all over the world. It's been great. It's been a great summer, and I've missed you. Hopefully you've missed me. I'm going to assume you did since I can't hear you. And in fact, let me know down below, if you actually did miss me. And also let me know what you want me to cover and what you want me to talk about in these next few months of videos, because your ideas are always helpful for me to hear. So, but in this video, I'm doing something I've never done. I've never talked about this topic, but it's very, very important. Where you look when you play can affect how you play, drummers. It's definitely a very important conversation that we are about to have right now. So if you guys are ready, you let me know by saying what. I haven't done this in a while, but I'm about to do it. If you're ready, then let me know by saying what? By saying what? Let's go! Yeah. Where do we look when we're playing, right? So where do we look when we're playing? Do you look here? Do you look there? Do you look away? Do you look up? Do you look at the audience? There's so many choices. And that also kind of coincides with how we move and groove with the music. So I'm going to try to tie those in. But the first thing is just playing time. Playing time. Where do you look? And if you look at a lot of the great drummers, a lot of them stare at the cymbal. Somebody I study with, the great Billy Hart. If you haven't checked out that autobiography, by the way, it's great. He has it's a biography about his musical journey and different bands he played with. Check that out, Billy Hart's autobiography. But he talked about how a lot of drummers stared at the ride cymbal because it's so mesmerizing, checking out your own beat, and especially if it's really swinging, you just kind of get mesmerized by it, and it requires that kind of focus and attention to really keep that swing going without relenting, right? So that's something that I recently have been thinking about and I've gotten back to. I think I used to do it more. But I really do feel like it does help focus me when I'm playing time. Right? Just focuses me on what's most important, which is time playing and creating a good feel for the rest of the band. However, you do not want to become fixated. I use this word with one of my students in a lesson this week. Fixated. When you're fixated, you're kind of just staring, but in an unnatural way, right? And you don't want to be doing that, where it's just, and you're not really aware of everything else that's going around. So I think it's okay to have kind of a focus point, right? To just kind of make sure you are focused. So I'm focusing on the ride cymbal. But I'm also free enough to observe the rest of the band, especially the bass player, right? Bass player is our best friend. So it doesn't mean you can't look other places, but then maybe you come back to your focus point. We'll call it a focus point, right? Some drummers prefer to maybe look at Maybe they look down. Right? And that's cool. The dangers of that is that your eyes cannot easily gaze at the rest of the band. So maybe there's a cue or something, then you have to kind of do this, or maybe something happens last second that the band leader wants to do that if you're not paying attention or if you're looking over here, you might not catch. So I don't know if that's the best place to make as your main focus area. Some people I've seen also kind of do this. Right? They're kind of looking down. Right? So they're looking down, but they can easily kind of right? And then another thing that I've seen people do, and I do as well, and sometimes it requires this for you to really focus, is closing your eyes, right? Maybe it's a deeper kind of song, or you just need to block out everything and really focus on what you're trying to do. So, right? But again, it doesn't mean that the whole time my eyes are going to be closed, because I definitely want to make sure I'm observing visually what's happening around me. It's very, very, very important, okay? So whatever you choose as your focus point, just be flexible. Don't become fixated and frozen to the point where that's the only place you look. So just make sure it's natural and you're aware of the rest of the band. Okay, so that kind of leads into movement. So when I'm playing, if you notice, the way you move is the way you're gonna groove or not groove. So I want you to be very cognizant of that and watch different videos of different drummers. Everyone has different movements, but whatever you do, it has to be natural. So there are some drummers who are very stoic in their movement, where they don't move at all. And you hear how that sounds, it kind of feels the way I look, right? And then there's other drummers who are they're moving all around, but there's no sense of feel or groove because their time is not focused. Neither is their movement. As soon as you still them or make them kind of move less, then it actually will influence the way they play. So which category are you? Let me know down below which category are you. For me, I think there should be a balance of the two worlds, right? So you don't want to be stiff, but you also don't want to be overly busy with your body movement. So however you move should be in the natural result of what's happening musically, and feel-wise with the music, groove-wise, right? So if I'm playing, you see how I'm moving? You see that? So there's a natural movement that's happening. I'm not overly moving. I'm not doing that because that's a lot of energy. I get tired. And I'm also not, right? Faster tempo. There is movement, right? I'm looking at my mirror. By the way, you should have a mirror to just see what you look like when you play, because sometimes just noticing little habits, little bad habits can make a big difference in how you play, actually. That's why I have my mirror, which you can't see, but it's behind the camera. So you can see my head bobbing a little bit, right? Nothing major. Bobbing very naturally with what's happening with the time and the feel, okay? And then unnatural. Right? Or That's also unnatural, right? So I think the moral of the story is be natural in your movements, be natural in your gaze, and I think it'll really effectively help you naturally play in a more natural way that feels good, and it feels good physically as well, right? It feels good musically, feels good physically, and it looks kind of in line with what you're doing. All right, so you might be wondering, well, what about when I am soloing? That's a great question. So the most important thing, because everyone kind of will do different things as far as where they look. And the first thing I'll say is, whatever you do, wherever you look, make sure you are in full. Make sure you're in full control of what you're playing, and you're fully 150% aware of every decision you make wherever you play. If you're intending to hit the rim, you hit the rim. If you're intending to hit the bell, right? If you want a rim shot on the floor tom, right? Every note you want to be aware of, okay? So I say that because everyone has something different. Some people they zone out and they get into, maybe they close their eyes or they look over here, right? I'm looking over there, but I'm so locked into what I'm playing. Whereas some people, when they look away, they actually are not locked in. So that's why I will not say it's a rule that you have to look at what you're doing. But if you find that you're not in full control of what you're playing and you're looking away, try looking at what you're playing, where you're playing. And you might want to practice very slow. Just moving around the kit. Just to make sure that, make sure that every note you play, you're intending to play exactly how you're playing it, just to get used to the hand-eye coordination. I think that could be very valuable. Some people close their eyes when they're playing. Some people look at the audience. They just kind of zone. They're not looking at the audience, but they zone. They're kind of gazing past the audience, right? And they get in that zone. And that's cool as long as they're in control of what they're playing. That's the main thing I will say. And I think that applies to everything you're doing. As long as you're in full control of everything you're playing, you can kind of get away with anything. And you'll see different drummers, different master drummers doing different things. So whatever works for you. But as long as you're in control, that's most important, right? And again, movement-wise, this, however, is not up for debate. You don't want to be overly busy with your movements because that's going to affect and get in the way of what you play. And you're going to be expending a lot more energy than is necessary to execute what you're trying to play. So just try to be natural in your movements. Don't be a statue, but don't be overly excited with your body movements. And I think it's going to help control. It's going to help your awareness. It's going to help your sound. And it's going to help you overall feel more comfortable with the instrument. So that's today's lesson on where you look when you play can affect how you play, drummers. And I think it's something you definitely want to make sure you're thinking about. Get a mirror if you don't have one, and it's going to help you so much. Hey, also, if you want some reactions from people when you're just walking around and you want to let people know that you are a drummer, that's a badge of honor, right? Being a drummer is a badge of honor. Well, in a funny way, this is kind of a funny way to let people know that, hey, I'm a drummer, and you're going to get some fun reactions. So you can check this T-shirt out. It's available down below. Okay? Well, until the next time, you know what to do. You know what to do. Practice hard, but practice smart. Take care. Peace. Bye.